Welcome back to Mustache Moto. It's Ben, and today we are going to review another Apple CarPlay Android Auto device for your motorcycle. Today we've got the Carpuride W712D. This is an Apple CarPlay, like I said, or Android Auto, 7-inch screen, and it comes with a front and rear dash cam that's built in. It's also got a little remote, and it looks like a pretty cool device. If you want to look at my previous reviews, I reviewed the AOC with the dash cam, and I also reviewed the Shiji that's specifically for the BMW, and I also reviewed Carpuride. So I did a shootout with the three of those. I'll link that. If you like one of those, the description has links and discount codes that get you a discount. Also, get a few dollars for Mustache Moto. Same thing with this. Carpuride sent me this for free. They have no editorial control over my video, so this will be my opinion and my opinion alone on how good it is. If you do choose to buy one, I'll put a link below. That'll go directly to Carpuride. It'll save you some money, and it'll also kick a few dollars to Mustache Moto to keep these videos going. So let's pop into this real quick, unbox, and see what we got. And by the way, I'm going to put this on my DR650. So that's the bike this is going on. We've got a manual. Here's the unit itself, 7 inches. Feels pretty big to me, looks big, but seems to be made pretty well. So a cool feature about this that I'm kind of excited to try out is you can run it in landscape mode, or you can actually switch it and run it in a vertical portrait orientation, which I think for some bikes, and especially some adventure bikes, if you were mounted in the middle, if you got a tall cockpit, this could be a really cool way to mount this. I mentioned it's got a little remote control that's goes on your handlebar, and it's got a few different options. I'm not sure how helpful that'll be, but we'll try it out. And then here's something I really, really like. It's got a USB power cord for it. So if you were going to switch bikes, or if you've got one of the newer bikes that has a CAN bus system for the electric and you don't want to cut into the wiring, or you can't cut into the wiring without screwing stuff up, and you don't want to wire directly to your battery, you could wire it to a USB and just plug it in. And that's what I'm going to do on this bike. So we'll see how that works. Let's see, we got a bunch of wiring. Dash cam, as I said, front and rear, and then we've got mounting brackets and things for the to get this on the handlebar or in your cockpit. So let me rearrange this and get started on the install so I can give you a good rundown of how it works. So I installed the Carpuride on the DR650. I have it wired through the USB charge port because, well, then I don't have to cut the wiring harness or tap into it anywhere. And then since I'm doing this as a review, it may or may not live on this bike, so I didn't want to permanently put it. And I can actually turn that on without turning the bike on. It says TF loaded successfully. Like I said, it flashes from it. Okay, it's a recording now, so maybe I just didn't have it set. Or gotten well, so the screen's not responding now. So it started recording, stopped recording. Well, All right. right, so it turns out every one of those problems I had was due to this, the USB power connector that I was kind of excited about. It just couldn't supply enough power to the unit to make it actually work. That was causing the camera to flicker and the screen to lock up. Now, I tried this with multiple different USB adapters on the bike. I also tried it with a high-powered USB power bank, and none of them worked. When I wired it directly to the battery, no problems whatsoever. So, save yourself some frustration and don't use the USB adapter. Go home. Back to CarPlay. Screen's pretty responsive. Even the corners, which was a gripe I had with the old Carpuride that I had, the 502, I think it was, that just wasn't quite as responsive, especially in the corners, but this seems to be pretty good. So, everything I touch seems to be working just fine. Alright, I've moved this to vertical. Oh, I was already vertical, but it was over here. I moved it to centered, and boy, that's just so much better of a position. It's also a little bit higher, but I feel like I can really just glance at it a lot better than I could before. It does make the key a little bit difficult to get to, but I can still reach in there and get the bike on and off without too much trouble. Take the key in and out. I was a little worried about being able to see the screen in the full bright sun because it seems a little on the dim side, but we're pretty much full sun today, and I got my sun visor down, and I can still see it pretty well, so not bad. Of course, lifting that up helps quite a bit. Let's talk about how to get video, dash cam video, off of this unit and onto your phone so you can review it, or get it onto your computer. Now, if you want to get multiple videos off of this onto your computer, I'd suggest you actually unscrew the little cover on the bottom and take the SD card, the micro SD card out and bring that into your computer. But if you're just doing one or two, you can do it this way. So we're going to go here and go to the home, all right? And we're going to, if we click Wi-Fi video, it's going to tell us CarPlay is connected, please disconnect first. So we're going to go to our phone, we're going to go to CarPlay. I already found it, but you go to your settings, CarPlay. It shows up as smart screen. We're going to click that, and we're going to turn that off. If you notice, the Bluetooth blinked off and disappeared. So it's disconnected now. So we go to CarPlay, and we're going to, it keeps popping this message up. So I don't know what that's, a little bit of a hink in the software. What we underneath there is we want to confirm, but we can't. Oh, let's see if I got it. Wi-Fi video. See when that disappears. Confirm. There we go. Now we switched over to Wi-Fi video. There's a QR code to download the app. I've already downloaded that. And then it also tells you to connect to the Carpuride Wi-Fi, which I've done previously. So it's in my in the memory here, but I'm going to go to Wi-Fi, and it should find it under Networks. Okay, Carpuride. Now once that's connected, we can go find that app we downloaded, which is called Vidure. Click that, and we're going to connect camera. Okay, there we go. There's our live view. It says we're moving at 4 kilometers per hour, which is pretty good since we're sitting still. But that'll I think, settle down and go to 0. It's dropping, jumping around. GPS isn't quite so accurate in my carport, I guess. All right, so what we're going to do is go to the folder. And then under loop, it's going to show all of our videos. Those are from today. Let's go to one from tomorrow. And if you notice, these are, they got the time that it began recording. Then it says F or B, front or back camera. So let's take this one from the front camera. You can watch it here, or you can click the download button. I'm going to download it. Now I've set my times, my clip time to 3 minutes. So I think you can do 1, 2, or 3, I think, but I like the longer clip. And then we'll see how long it takes to download. All right, we're downloaded. We'll close that so we can watch it in here. Now, if you want it on your regular camera roll to send it to somebody or your own computer, you click the save and it's going to drop that into my regular Photos app. So it'll be there. All right, it should be there, saved. Now, what we need to do, we'll go back home here, but what we want to do is go back and turn, if you're done using that, of course, we're going to go back to our settings, and we're going to go to CarPlay, and we're going to go to Smart Screen, and we're going to turn that back on, and then it's going to reconnect, and we'll get back to having it set up like we did so you're ready to ride again. It takes just a minute, and it should pop right in. Oh, sorry, you got to hit the CarPlay and confirm the switch back to CarPlay. Now let's see, it should connect. Or maybe I'm asking too much of this. I don't think I am. Let's go back and check our settings and see if the Wi-Fi is set. Should be back up and running. There we go. So that took a good minute or two to switch back over. Or the other thing you could do is you could just shut the machine off and then turn it back on and it should connect right away. The video quality from the dash cam is really pretty mediocre. It's a lot of kind of jello effect and shakiness to it, and it's not the sharpest thing in the world, so it'd be good enough to cover you if somebody cut you off or jumped out in front of you, but you really aren't going to be able to read license plates from it or use the video on a vlog or on YouTube. All right, I didn't really talk about the remote control unit. It goes on the handlebar. It's kind of fiddly. It didn't fit really well. I had to shim it out with some foam to get it to stay on the handlebar. It's really limited functionality. It's only got 3 buttons, doesn't do much. I ended up just taking it off. It wasn't worth my time to mess with, and actually the screen being close enough, I just reach up and use the screen and had full functionality doing that. So I would say don't even bother with that. One other niggle, one other little quirk, one thing that I was a little annoyed with is, so the connectors on the back of the unit are marked for the front and the rear dash cam, but they were marked backwards. So the one that said back was actually the front, and the one that said front was actually back. That was a bit of a pain. Took me a minute to figure out what was going on. Mistakes happen, I guess. Final conclusions. If you want Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, this is a decent unit. It's solid. The screen's responsive. If you want something that goes vertical, this might be your only option, and it's pretty cool. It does sit well in the cockpit, especially on like a dual sport or an adventure type of bike. Screen's big. It's pretty easy to see. Overall, definitely a solid unit. With the coupon code below, it's like $200, so it's a fairly good deal also. So check them out and get out there and ride.